In the vast expanses of the Milky Way, the long-awaited day had come for humanity to join the Galactic Concord, a council comprised of the most advanced alien civilizations known to exist. The council had kept a watchful eye on Earth through centuries, and following humanity's leap into faster-than-light travel, an invitation was extended. Aboard the Galactic Concord's monumental station, hovering at the edge of the Sol system, John Carter, Earth's chosen representative and a veteran astronaut, prepared for his first council meeting. Beside him, his colleague and fellow astronaut Marcus Lee adjusted his uniform, a mix of nerves and excitement playing across his face. "You think they'll take us seriously?" Marcus asked, glancing at the alien delegates gathering around the massive circular chamber. John's eyes scanned the room, noting the diverse array of species, from the reptilian Jakari to the ethereal, glowing forms of the Elari. "They have to," John replied, his voice steady. "We've earned our seat here, just like everyone else." As they took their designated seats, a murmur spread across the chamber. John and Marcus exchanged a glance, bracing themselves. The session began with Zorath, the Concord's presiding officer, a being from a race known for their immense intellect and stoic demeanor. "We welcome Earth's representatives," Zorath's voice boomed in the chamber, translated instantly by their devices. "Humanity stands on the threshold of a new era." However, as John rose to speak, a ripple of laughter broke out among the delegates. A towering figure from the back, General Kraz of the militaristic Torgan Empire, stepped forward, his voice laced with disdain. "A new era? For these primitives? We've observed your planet. You struggle with basic unity and now aspire to galactic relevance?" John's jaw tightened, but he maintained his composure. "We may be new to the galaxy," he began, his voice firm, "but humanity brings unique qualities to the table. We are innovators, explorers, survivors." "A survivor who has barely escaped his own self-destruction," sneered a delegate from the sleek, silver-skinned Novali. "Your application to this council is premature at best." Marcus stood up, supporting John. "Premature? We've harnessed quantum energies, cured diseases that once ravaged our planet. And now you bring your wars, your chaos here," interrupted Kraz, his tone mocking. The room filled with a mix of supportive and derisive noises. At that moment, an unexpected ally spoke up, Zorath, a diplomat from the aquatic planet Hydronus. "If I may," Zorath's calm voice echoed, soothing the room. "Every species here has had tumultuous paths. Let us not forget our own histories. Humanity deserves a chance to prove its worth, as we all did." Kraz huffed, turning back to his seat, and the session continued with a strained but respectful discussion of interstellar politics and technological exchange proposals. After the meeting, as the chamber cleared, John and Marcus were approached by Zorath. "Do not be disheartened by the harsh welcome," Zorath advised, his serene eyes reflecting a depth of experience. "You are capable of great things. Prove them wrong." John nodded, feeling the weight of Zorath's words. "Thank you, Zorath. We intend to do just that." As the two humans walked back to their quarters, Marcus spoke up. "This is going to be tougher than I thought." John smiled slightly, determination setting in. "Maybe, but they've underestimated us. We'll show them what humans are truly capable of." And with that resolve, humanity's journey in the Galactic Concord began. Not with universal applause, but with a challenge to overcome. A challenge that John and Marcus were more than ready to meet, head-on. John Carter and Marcus Lee returned to Earth with a mix of trepidation and resolve. Their introduction to the Galactic Concord had been less than welcoming, and the laughter of the alien delegates still echoed in their memories. However, they also brought back with them crucial insights into the technological advancements and political dynamics of the galaxy. At the United Nations headquarters, where the newly established Earth Galactic Relations Division, EGRD, had been set up, they reported their findings to an assembly of world leaders. Also present was Dr. Alan Hayes, a renowned physicist known for his work on faster-than-light propulsion systems. "As you've seen in the report," John began, addressing the room, "our entry into the Concord has been met with skepticism and outright disdain. However, we've also gained potential allies and access to technologies that could leapfrog our current capabilities. Dr. Hayes chimed in. Indeed, and with these new technologies, we could enhance our defenses, advance our energy production, and much more. But we need to be cautious. Some of these advancements could also make us a target. The room fell silent, considering the implications. It was then that Marcus, who had been reviewing live satellite feeds, stood abruptly. Speaking of targets, he said, turning the monitor towards the group, we've got incoming. Unknown ships just breached the Oort cloud. The atmosphere shifted instantly from diplomatic to urgent. John contacted Earth Space Command while Alan coordinated with his team to analyze the incoming ships. They're not using any known Concord signatures, Alan reported. It's likely they're hostile. The assumption proved correct as the ships, sleek and aggressive in design, began advancing towards Earth. John issued commands to ready the planetary defenses, a network of satellites and ground-based missile systems developed in anticipation of such threats. General Kraz mentioned in the meeting that the Zyros Empire has been expanding their territory, Marcus pointed out, as they strategized their response. They might see us as an easy first target in this sector. As the alien fleet approached, John orchestrated Earth's response from the command center, with Marcus coordinating ground forces, and Alan advising on the use of experimental weapons. Let's keep them at bay long enough to assess their capabilities and weaknesses, John directed. The battle commenced just beyond the moon's orbit. Earth's defenses, though less advanced, were surprisingly effective. The Zyros, accustomed to overwhelming their opponents with sheer force, found themselves caught off guard by the unpredictable and resourceful human tactics. John and his team monitored the battle, adjusting strategies in real time. Focus fire on their command ship, he ordered, spotting a pattern in the enemy's movements. If we can disrupt their leadership, it might give us an edge. The tide turned when Marcus suggested deploying a series of newly developed drones that could penetrate the enemy shields. The drones, loaded with explosives and advanced hacking tools, made their way to the Zyro ships, causing significant damage and chaos within their ranks. As the Zyros fleet began to falter, messages of their surprise and frustration were intercepted. They didn't expect us to fight back this hard, Marcus said, a grim smile crossing his face. With the Zyros retreating to regroup, Earth had won a significant victory. The council room was abuzz with leaders and military officials, their earlier doubts replaced by a newfound respect for the capabilities of their Space Command team. We need to be prepared for a counterattack, John warned, his eyes on the screen showing the retreating Zyros ships. This is just the beginning. They will come back and we must be ready. Alan nodded in agreement, already considering improvements to their technology. Let's use this time wisely. We've proven our worth today, but the galaxy is a vast and competitive arena. We need to stay sharp. As they set about preparing for the future, the victory served as a crucial lesson. Earth might be new to the galaxy, but it was not without its defenses or its cunning. The battle had been a baptism by fire, and humanity had emerged not just intact, but stronger and more united than ever. The aftermath of the first battle with the Zyros Empire left Earth's leaders and citizens in a state of cautious optimism. Despite their victory, the threat of a more concerted attack loomed large. John Carter, alongside his colleagues Marcus Lee and Dr. Alan Hayes, spearheaded the effort to bolster Earth's defenses and prepare for the next encounter. We need to understand their technology better, Dr. Hayes insisted as they convened in the newly expanded war room, where screens displayed data collected from the recent skirmish. Their shield technology and propulsion systems are years ahead of ours. We've got a lot to learn if we're going to keep up. John nodded, his focus sharp. Let's also look into their tactics. The Zyros are predictable. They rely on brute force and sheer numbers. We can use that predictability against them. Marcus, tasked with troop readiness and ground defenses, added, training our forces to adapt to alien combat styles is crucial. We've seen they aren't invincible. Shock and awe have their limits. The trio's planning was abruptly tested as new reports came in of a massive Zyros fleet amassing near the edge of the solar system. This time, it wasn't just a scouting force but the main armada. The Council, alarmed by the scale of the impending attack, granted John and his team broad authority to engage the enemy as they saw fit. With the world watching, Earth's forces deployed under John's command, utilizing both traditional military assets and the newly developed technologies gleaned from their first encounter. The battle strategy was to disperse Earth's fleet to mitigate the impact of the Zyros' superior firepower and to exploit their lack of tactical flexibility. As the Zyros fleet approached, their formation was tight and disciplined, a stark contrast to the more dynamic arrangement of Earth's defenders. "Let them come," John murmured, watching the enemy draw closer. "All units, hold until my mark." The tension was palpable as the Zyros ships entered the range of Earth's long-range artillery. At John's command, Earth's forces unleashed a coordinated barrage, targeting the lead ships and disrupting the Zyros formation. The initial salvo was more effective than anyone had dared hope, thanks to the element of surprise and the precision of Earth's targeting. "Push forward. All groups advance." John's voice was clear and authoritative over the comms as he directed the fleet. The Earthships moved in, exploiting the gaps and confusion in the Zyros ranks. Skirmishes erupted throughout space, the black void lit by the blaze of ship cannons and exploding vessels. Meanwhile, Marcus led a daring maneuver that involved a flanking squadron of smaller, faster ships designed to penetrate the enemy's weakened flanks. "Hit them where they're scattered," he instructed his pilots. The tactic worked brilliantly, sowing further chaos among the Zyros forces. Dr. Hayes, monitoring the battle's progress from Earth, provided real-time feedback and adjustments to weapon frequencies and shield modulation based on incoming data. "Adjust to frequency 7.9 on the disruptors. It's more effective against their shields," he relayed urgently. The battle reached its climax as John, aboard the command ship, led a direct assault against the Zyros flagship. With precise movements and coordinated attacks from multiple fronts, the flagship was surrounded and severely damaged. "Offer them a chance to surrender," John commanded, his voice resolute. The offer was broadcast, and faced with overwhelming defeat, the Zyros commander accepted. The battle was over. As news of the victory spread across Earth, celebrations erupted. Humanity had not only survived a second encounter, but had decisively defeated one of the most feared military forces in the galaxy. In the war room, John, Marcus, and Dr. Hayes shared a moment of quiet relief. "We've done more than defend Earth today," John said, his gaze firm on the holographic display of the galaxy. "We've sent a message. We're not just survivors, we're contenders." The unexpected victory solidified Earth's position in the galaxy, shifting the perception of humans from underdogs to formidable adversaries. It was a turning point, marking the beginning of a new era for humanity, one where they were no longer spectators but active and respected participants in galactic affairs. After their decisive victory over the Zyros Empire, Earth's status in the galactic concord began to shift dramatically. No longer were humans seen merely as the newest members of the interstellar community. Now they were regarded with a mix of respect and caution. John Carter, alongside Marcus Lee and Dr. Alan Hayes, found themselves increasingly involved in galactic politics, representing Earth's interests among the stars. John, reflecting on their journey, convened with Marcus in his office. "It's strange," he mused, gazing out into the stars from the viewport. "We went from being the laughingstock of the conquered to one of its most discussed members in a matter of months." Marcus chuckled lightly, adjusting the data pads on John's desk. "I'd say they're scared, John. They saw what we did to the Zyros, and fear, as you know, can be a powerful motivator." Their conversation was interrupted by a secure transmission from Dr. Hayes. "Gentlemen, you might want to see this." Alan's voice came through clearly, tinged with urgency. The screen displayed a series of encrypted messages intercepted from various sectors of space. "These aren't just random chatter," Alan explained as they analyzed the contents. "It looks like several civilizations are starting to form alliances, possibly as a direct response to our recent military successes." John leaned forward, his mind racing. "This could complicate things. If they see us as a threat, they might unite against us. Or," Marcus added optimistically, "they might seek to ally with us, keep their enemies close, as it were." With the potential for new alliances and threats looming, John proposed a series of diplomatic missions to key planets, aiming to foster good relations and dispel any fears about Earth's intentions. As he prepared for these crucial meetings, Marcus took charge of further strengthening Earth's military readiness, ensuring they remained prepared for any eventuality. During one such diplomatic mission, John met with representatives of the Sarin Cluster, a small but influential coalition of planets known for their advanced technology. The meeting took place aboard their flagship, a marvel of engineering that dwarfed even the most sophisticated human ships. "Welcome, Ambassador Carter," greeted Vela Tarn, the Sarin Cluster's chief diplomat, a tall, slender figure with luminescent skin. "Your actions against the Zyros were impressive." John extended a hand, which Vela regarded curiously before mimicking the gesture. "Thank you, Ambassador Tarn. We seek peace and cooperation with all of the Concord's members. Earth has much to learn and much to offer." Vela nodded, leading John through the corridors of their ship. "Many fear your kind's potential, but we Seren appreciate potential. We harness it. Perhaps together we can achieve greatness." Their discussions lasted several hours, covering potential trade agreements, technology exchanges, and mutual defense pacts. It was a testament to Earth's newfound respect that such conversations were even possible. Meanwhile, back on Earth, Marcus and Dr. Hayes were testing a new defensive system, utilizing technology recovered from the Zyros. "If this works, it could change defensive warfare as we know it," Marcus noted, overseeing the live fire test. The system exceeded their expectations, creating a nearly impenetrable shield around their test site. Cheers erupted from the team, a mix of military personnel and scientists united in their shared success. As John returned from his diplomatic tour, he brought with him promising news of potential alliances and technology-sharing initiatives. Earth was slowly but surely carving out its place as a pivotal player in the galactic theater. In a high-level briefing at the EGRD, John shared his insights. "We're no longer on the defensive," he declared confidently. "We are now one of the apex predators of this galaxy. Our actions have shown that we can not only defend ourselves, but also forge paths toward a more integrated and influential position within the Concord." The team, energized by John's words, continued their work with renewed vigor. Earth had not only survived its early trials in the galaxy, but was now thriving, leveraging its unique position to influence galactic politics and ensure its security among the stars. The galaxy had indeed learned to respect the resilience and cunning of humanity. As Earth solidified its position within the galactic concord, the ripple effects of their actions became increasingly evident. John Carter, Marcus Lee, and Dr. Alan Hayes continued their efforts to navigate the complex web of interstellar politics and emerging threats. Earth's growing influence, while beneficial in fostering alliances, also attracted the attention of more insidious forces within the galaxy. At the Earth Galactic Relations Division, EGRD, John and Marcus reviewed the latest intelligence reports. "It seems we have not only made allies but also some quiet adversaries," John noted, his eyes scanning the data. "The Shadari Collective has been particularly active in the shadows. They've been probing our defenses and our diplomatic missions." Marcus, ever the strategist, leaned back in his chair thoughtfully. "The Shadari are known for their covert operations. If they're taking an interest in us, we need to tighten our security, both here and on our outposts." Dr. Hayes joined the discussion via a secure video link, his expression grave. "I've been reviewing some of the technology we've encountered in our recent dealings. The Shadari have a way of integrating organic components that makes their tech particularly adaptable. It could pose a significant threat if they decide to move against us." Determined to preempt any potential threats, John organized a special task force, led by Marcus, to focus on counter-espionage and to safeguard Earth's technological secrets. Meanwhile, John continued his diplomatic efforts, seeking to strengthen bonds with civilizations that might provide intelligence on the Shadari's movements. During a covert meeting on a neutral space station, John met with an informant from the Luxor Confederation, a group recently swayed to Earth's side thanks to shared concerns over the Shadari. The informant, a being covered in shimmering scales, slid a data chip across the table to John. This contains recent communications intercepted from the Shadari. They're not just watching you, they're planning something big. Back on Earth, the task force wasted no time analyzing the intercepted communications. The data revealed potential plans for a series of sabotage missions aimed at destabilizing Earth's energy grids and military communications. With this information, Marcus heightened security protocols and deployed countermeasures to protect key infrastructure. In the meantime, Dr. Hayes worked on developing a new defensive technology that utilized quantum encryption to secure their networks against Shadari hacking attempts. If they can't crack our systems, it'll slow them down, give us time to catch them in the act, he explained during a briefing with John and Marcus. The efforts to fortify Earth's defenses seemed to be working until a series of unexplained malfunctions began affecting their outer colonies. Marcus coordinated with local security teams to investigate, uncovering evidence of sophisticated cyber attacks that bore the hallmarks of Shadari technology. "These aren't random attacks, they're testing our responses," Marcus reported, his frustration evident. "Every time we patch one security hole, they find another." John realized they needed to change their approach. "It's time we took the fight to them. Let's use their interest in us to set a trap. If they think they've got us rattled, they'll get overconfident." With a new plan in mind, John, Marcus, and Dr. Hayes set up a decoy operation, pretending to roll out a new communication system they claimed would revolutionize Earth's defenses. In reality, it was bait, designed to lure the Shadari into revealing their network and operations. As expected, the Shadari took the bait. They launched a full-scale cyber attack against the decoy system, which allowed Dr. Hayes and his team to trace the attack back to its source, a hidden base in an uncharted sector. With the location of the Shadari base uncovered, John and Marcus prepared for a direct assault, hoping to end the threat once and for all. "This is it," John said as they armed their ship. "We stop them here, or we keep facing these shadows forever." As their ships hurtled through space towards the showdown with the Shadari, the team felt the weight of their responsibility. They were not just fighting for Earth's place in the galaxy, but for its future security and peace. The storm was upon them, and they were ready to face it head-on. The revelation of the Shadari base's location marked a turning point in Earth's struggle against its hidden foes. Under the leadership of John Carter and Marcus Lee, a carefully assembled strike team was deployed to dismantle the Shadari threat once and for all. Meanwhile, Dr. Alan Hayes stayed behind to coordinate the operation from Earth, ensuring that any intelligence gathered during the assault could be immediately analyzed and acted upon. As their ship approached the covert Shadari base, hidden in an asteroid belt in a remote sector of the galaxy, tension among the team was palpable. John reviewed the mission parameters with his crew, emphasizing the importance of stealth and precision. "We can't afford a drawn-out battle," he explained. "Our goal is to get in, gather intelligence, disable their operations, and get out before they even realize what's hit them." Marcus, leading a subgroup of special operatives, nodded in agreement. "Remember, these aren't your typical foes. They'll use every trick in the book to protect their secrets." The operation commenced under the cover of darkness, with Earth ships cloaked and maneuvers calculated to avoid detection by Shadari sensors. As they neared the base, the team deployed in small, nimble craft designed for rapid entry and exit. Inside the base, they encountered minimal resistance at first, a testament to the effectiveness of their stealth approach. However, as they penetrated deeper, they stumbled upon a hub of activity. It was clear the Shadari were developing something significant, something that could pose a severe threat to not just Earth, but the entire galactic concord. Marcus's team engaged in a tense firefight with Shadari guards as they worked their way towards the central command room. Meanwhile, John led another team to the intelligence vault, where they began downloading crucial data. Back on Earth, Dr. Hayes monitored the progress anxiously. As the first streams of data arrived, his team worked feverishly to decrypt and analyze it. "They've been experimenting with biological warfare," Hayes realized with a sinking heart. "This isn't just cyber warfare. They're planning to destabilize entire ecosystems." The mission's stakes suddenly escalated and John made the call to plant explosives to destroy the base completely. "We can't let this technology fall into the wrong hands, or worse, get used against any Concord member," he declared through the communicator. However, as the charges were set and the teams prepared to withdraw, the Shadari launched a counterattack, blocking the main escape routes and pinning down part of Marcus's team. With time running out and the base's self-destruct sequence activated, a desperate battle ensued to reach the extraction point. John, realizing part of his team was trapped, made a split-second decision to go back. "No one gets left behind," he asserted, leading a rescue sortie. Under heavy fire, they managed to free the trapped operatives and sprinted toward their ships as the base began to implode. The return journey was somber yet relieved. They had succeeded in their mission, but at the cost of revealing Earth's strategic capabilities and intent to the broader galaxy. The data they secured confirmed not only the immediate threat, but also hinted at potential Shadari allies within the Concord, suggesting that the battle was far from over. Back at the EGRD headquarters, the team debriefed, their faces shadowed by the weight of their discoveries. "This was a warning," John concluded. "The Shadari are just a part of a bigger problem. We need to prepare for more complex threats." Marcus, looking over the recovered data, added, "We've shown them that Earth isn't just a participant in galactic affairs. We're a formidable force. But this will undoubtedly provoke further challenges." With Earth's role in the galaxy more prominent and precarious than ever, Dr. Hayes summed up their situation. "We've stepped out of the shadows and into the spotlight. It's time to fortify, innovate, and expand our alliances. The galaxy now knows what we are capable of, for better or worse." As they prepared for the future, John, Marcus, and Alan knew the darkest hour was perhaps yet to come. But Earth was no longer just defending. It was asserting itself on the galactic stage, ready for whatever challenges awaited. In the wake of the successful raid on the Shadari base, Earth's military and intelligence capabilities were no longer underestimations in the eyes of the galaxy. John Carter, Marcus Lee, and Dr. Alan Hayes had exposed a network of espionage that implicated several seemingly neutral civilizations within the galactic Concord. The gravity of their findings compelled the Earth's leaders and their allies to brace for a broader conflict that now seemed inevitable. The preparation phase was intense. Earth's command structured training sessions for their forces based on the combat data retrieved from the Shadari base, and Dr. Hayes spearheaded the development of advanced defensive systems designed to counter both cyber and biological threats. John and Marcus, meanwhile, worked on fortifying alliances with other galactic powers who had grown wary of the Shadari and their hidden agenda. "We've managed to isolate them to an extent," John explained in a high-level strategy meeting. "Our intel has sown distrust among their allies. We need to capitalize on this before they regroup." Marcus, focusing on tactical deployments, added, "Our fleets are ready, but our ground forces will be the key to holding any territories we might need to seize to prevent further incursions." As the preparations continued, an urgent communiqué from a surveillance outpost near the edge of the solar system interrupted their planning. The Shadari, in a desperate bid to regain control, had launched a massive offensive. Unlike their previous covert operations, this was an overt display of power, aimed directly at Earth. The enemy fleet was unlike any other previously encountered. It was clear that the Shadari had been holding back their most advanced technologies for this confrontation. "They're throwing everything they have at us," John observed grimly as they reviewed the incoming data. "This is it, the final stand." With Earth's forces mobilized, the battle commenced in the cold vacuum of space. John and Marcus commanded from the front lines, coordinating Earth's defensive platforms and fleets in a ballet of orchestrated chaos. Dr. Hayes, back on Earth, provided real-time updates and strategic adjustments, his new defensive technologies proving crucial in countering the Shadari's advanced weaponry. As the battle raged, a breakthrough came when one of Earth's allies, the Sarin cluster, managed to infiltrate the Shadari's command network, sowing confusion and disarray among their ranks. This tactical edge allowed Earth's forces to push back, driving the Shadari towards a prearranged trap set near the edge of the asteroid belt. In the intense final moments of the battle, Marcus led a daring boarding party onto the Shadari flagship, aiming to capture their command crew. The operation was fraught with danger, but the stakes were too high to consider failure. Meanwhile, John coordinated the broader engagement, ensuring that the Shadari forces could not retreat or regroup. Explosions lit up the dark space as one by one, the Shadari ships were either disabled or destroyed. Marcus's mission was a success. The Shadari command crew was captured, including their enigmatic leader, who had orchestrated much of the covert warfare against Earth. With their leadership in disarray, the remaining Shadari forces capitulated, ending the battle in a decisive victory for Earth and its allies. The aftermath of the battle saw a shift in galactic power dynamics. Earth, once a newcomer to the conquered, was now recognized as a major strategic and military power. John, Marcus, and Dr. Hayes were hailed as heroes. But the victory was bittersweet. The war had taken its toll, and the scars would linger. In the following days, Earth led peace talks to address the vulnerabilities the conflict had exposed in the conquered structure. "We need a new framework for galactic cooperation," John proposed during the summit, one that ensures transparency and mutual security. As they laid the groundwork for a new era of interstellar relations, Earth's leaders knew that the peace they had fought for was fragile. But with their newfound position and the respect they had earned, they were ready to face any future challenges. The galaxy had learned a powerful lesson: underestimate Earth at your peril. With unity, innovation, and determination, humanity had not only survived, but had reshaped the very fabric of galactic politics. The final stand was not just a battle for survival, it was a declaration of humanity's enduring spirit and strategic acumen. In the aftermath of the monumental victory over the Shadari, Earth found itself not just as a survivor, but as a recognized leader within the galactic concord. The implications of this new status were profound and far-reaching. John Carter, Marcus Lee, and Dr. Alan Hayes, once at the forefront of Earth's defense, now took their places as key architects in the reconstruction of the galactic order. At the Galactic Summit, held on the neutral planet of Vianus, leaders from across the known universe gathered to redefine the structure of the conquered. John, representing Earth, took a leading role. "We have been given a rare opportunity," he told the assembly, "an opportunity to build a concord that truly reflects the diversity and strength of all its members, not just the founding few." Marcus, meanwhile, was appointed as the head of the newly formed Galactic Defense Council. His first task was to integrate the various military forces of the conquered members into a cohesive unit that could respond to any future threats without hesitation or the shadows of bureaucracy. Dr. Hayes led the scientific community, focusing on sharing technology and research that would benefit all civilizations, ensuring that no one member could monopolize advancements that could tip the balance of power. "Our goal is to create a foundation of trust and cooperation," Hayes frequently stated, pushing his agenda of open-source technology. As Earth's influence grew, so did its responsibilities. The humans worked tirelessly to mediate conflicts and forge alliances that were based on mutual respect and benefit, rather than fear and domination. John found particular success in expanding the Concord's reach, inviting more distant civilizations to join and bring their unique perspectives. The changes were not without their challenges. Old rivalries and deep-seated mistrust had to be navigated carefully. Marcus, with his straightforward and honorable approach, managed several tense standoffs that could have easily escalated into conflicts. His mantra, "Strength through unity, peace through strength," was adopted by the Defense Council as their official motto. On the civilian side, Dr. Hayes's initiatives led to a boom in technological advancements. Breakthroughs in energy production, space travel, and medicine were shared freely, leading to a golden age of prosperity and health that many had thought impossible. "We are only as strong as our weakest member," Hayes would say, driving home the importance of lifting up all civilizations together. As the galaxy began to stabilize under this new paradigm, John took a moment to reflect on the journey that had brought them here. From being underestimated and ridiculed at their first Galactic Concord meeting to now being one of its pillars, humanity had not just adapted, they had excelled. During a closing speech at the summit, John addressed the gathered leaders with a note of caution and optimism. Let us never forget the lessons we've learned through these trials. We were once regarded as the galaxy's underdogs, and now we stand as its guardians. But this power is not ours alone. It belongs to every member of this concord, and together, we must ensure it is never abused. As the leaders applauded, it was clear that humanity had not only earned their respect, but had fundamentally altered the perception of what it meant to be a member of the Galactic Concord. The humans had shown that with tenacity, creativity, and a deep commitment to principles, even the newest members could redefine the heart of the galaxy. Earth's rise to prominence was not just a tale of survival, but of transformation. The galaxy had indeed come to recognize humans as apex predators, not in the sense of dominators, but as protectors, leaders, and unifiers. As the summit ended and the delegates departed, there was a sense of a new beginning, one that held promise and hope for a peaceful and prosperous future.